Hello and welcome back to 90's Mags, your podcast for all things Newcastle United, hosted by two lifelong Newcastle United supporting buddies, myself, D-Man, joined by my co-host Jefferson. How you doing, sir?
Boy, boy.
I don't know why I even
It's
asked
been
you
a
that.
hectic day. It's
I
been a
don't know.
hectic day, isn't it?
I know how you're feeling, bro. I know how you're feeling.
I'm sure it's the same for you.
Yeah, man. But listen, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Get involved in the chat. Help the channel grow. Make sure you're smashing that like button. It's much appreciated because it helps the channel grow, makes increase our visibility and all that good stuff. Let the world know about 90's Mags, the Newcastle United fan base and worldwide know about Newcastle United. But joined again for the second time in a row. We've got Roy. As you can see, the anti-happy clapper. How you doing, Roy?
How you doing, mate? I don't know why I'm smiling. I shouldn't be, but yeah, I'm good. Well, we all expected it, didn't we?
Oh, you did indeed. You did indeed. We've got a few people in the chat already.
I was,
Yeah, we've got the McKenzie family still waiting for Jefferson to talk some realism about Eddie the fraud. Adrian, big up Adrian. The grill's gonna be hot tonight. Stephen,
Adrian knows, doesn't he? He knows.
Stephen, any relation to Eddie?
Should be Stephen H tonight, isn't it?
110 million for Wissa and Elanga is looking like money down the drain. And big up
Yeah.
PG, he said, big up 90's Mac Jefferson may be spitting facts all along.
At last.
NUFC Truth is in early. Yeah, I think this is the earliest he's been in the pod. He said, get Mancini in now. Big up Mikey as well. I'm on the dark side.
Yes.
And Michael NUFC, how out?
Woo!
Ooh, it's growing.
Big up Scant as well, who joins us in the penitentiary. After today's I can't even cook Liverpool because we both got battered today. We might even touch on Liverpool a bit later, but yeah, it's not a good day for both of us. Not a good day for both of us. But
I'd love to hear Scant's sentiment on how he thinks, the crossroads we're at now, what we should look to do.
it'll be interesting, Big up Yinks in the building as well.
Man, like Yikes!
All right, now let's get into it, man. Let's get into it because obviously, as usual, we're here to review the latest Newcastle United outing. We was actually going to wait till tomorrow, but I actually postponed my plans. Yeah, because emergency meeting.
Wacky when it's hard.
Yeah, when times are tough, it's time to get into it. So, yeah, for those who don't know, we've just been embarrassed again on the road in London again. Another away defeat again. It finished Brentford 3, Newcastle 1. Similar to last weekend, taking the lead and then conceding 3 goals. Yeah, absolutely embarrassing again. Yeah, and there's a lot to talk about. Now, I don't know if we even need to get into the brief summary of the game because we're going to get into the nitty-gritty straight away. NUFC D-Man, no one can defend him. 750, look at what he's done to this team. We look as bad as Bruce left us. Big up Toon Army in the building. Evening, lads and Roy. I've been saying it over a year. How can do no more? And it's only a matter of when, if not if he's going to get sacked. Interesting. All right, so let's get into it. All right. So we've been beaten again on the road 3-1. That's no away wins for the season. No away wins since April. We're now sitting 2 points off the relegation zone. I don't know about you guys, but I think we're officially in a relegation fight.
Yeah.
And it's not looking good, right? Because I believe, I'm not sure who plays who next week, but by the time we finish Man City, we could be in a relegation zone, depending if results go against our way, right? And I think we will be in a relegation zone if they're not playing each other. I don't know who they're playing, but I haven't checked it. But it's looking, and I've looked at the fixtures that we've got upcoming. I don't know where the next win cup comes from. I really don't. It's that bad. But let's talk about this one, yeah? Starting with the lineup, yeah? Now, usually we gloss over this, but we're gonna have to talk about it properly. So let me start with Roy. What were your thoughts about the lineup itself when you saw it?
As soon as I saw the lineup, I'm like, well, it's the same as before. So, what are you expecting any different? So, change things. You might change the result, but you haven't changed anything. So, what do you expect? And
go on.
So Pope, okay. Dan Burn on the left, where Lewis Hall was fit. And I actually told one of the Doha Mags last week, I bet you anything, Lewis Hall is going to be on the bench, even if he's fit. Dan Burn starts on the left. And same with Joe Linton, and it happened again. I saw the lineup. Oh God, it's just worse because Gordon wasn't there.
Mm.
So he's not been playing well anyway. But Barnes, I mean, okay, he scored that goal, but we did nothing for 90 minutes. Nothing. Shocking.
Right. So here's my thought, right? Now, first of all, when I saw the lineup, I thought, listen, we played a game in midweek, right? Yes, the team did okay, but when you have a game in midweek, the schedule that we have to rotate. This guy, correct me if I'm wrong, but he made one change, and that was a forced change. Yeah, Murphy came back in because Gordon was injured. Everyone else who started the game on Wednesday started the game today. Yeah,
Yep.
and my thing is that, like you said, the three players that should be nowhere near that team, yeah, is Nick Pope. Yeah. Now, granted, he hasn't been that bad, but I still think we seem to play a lot better when Ramsdale's in goal, right?
Yep.
Joe Linton, yeah, who's been stinking up the place for a very long time. And why is it that brother gets injured every time before international break? I don't understand what's going on there, right? And then you've got Dan Burn. Now, we know the Dan Burn experiment does not work. And he had the excuse because Lewis Hall was injured. Lewis Hall's now back, yeah? Why is he not starting the game? Right, and we'll get into the semantics of the game, how it planned out as well. But that was my concern when we saw it. I thought this team's going to be knackered, yeah, going into this game, right? Because they all played midweek. Remember, Murphy came on very early for Gordon in midweek as well, yeah, and he's still recovering from an injury anyway, yeah. But that was my concern. Jefferson, what were your thoughts when you saw it?
Rinse and repeat, bro. Rinse and repeat. Been saying this from God knows how when. The only thing I thought he might do is risk it and play Ilanga. Because, it's nice to have pace to stretch teams when you're away from home. But he started Barnes. But other than that, nah, I expected this.
Did you
I think
expect?
it links to like what Roy is saying. We're in the Champions League and we've been here, done this 2 years ago. The brother's not learning. All the happy cappers' excuses are give him time. He needs time to learn. Well, the second time's come round again, and you've got piss poor squad management. Yeah, you got to rotate the squad. You got to rotate the squad. You got to learn to trust others. He
And this
ain't doing that.
and this is and why to me the biggest one for me was why didn't Jacob Ramsey start that game? Yeah. Like we all said on Wednesday, just because Joe Linton scored, that should not guarantee him a place at the weekend. But we said it would do. We knew what Eddie Howe was going to be, and this is the problem. He's too flipping predictable, yeah, and it's starting to get on my nerves. Now, PG said it's not like we played top sides over the last couple of games. We've played West Ham and Brentford and conceded 6 goals. Yeah, 6 goals from the.
Yep.
Remember, we racked and lyrical about centre back play. I'm not going to put this on them to be fair, but the fact we were talking about we could have the best defense, blah blah, and now we conceded 6 goals to those two teams.
Nah.
It's embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing.
And people saying people saying Eddie's some kind of elite manager. You kidding me? He just lost to a glorified set piece coach.
It's mad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Remember the season predictions? We were saying that Brentford might get relegated.
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
us. I think it's us that might get relegated now.
You know what I mean? It's not looking good. It's not good. Scant said Howe was in trouble from summer. Jefferson. 2 sporting directors have lost their jobs for him, and this is what annoys me, right? Because I saw Jamie Carragher's comments today, and he said Newcastle have let Eddie Howe down. Now, how have we let this brother down? How have we let this brother down? We've given him so much.
He's got full control.
Like you said, he spent 250 in the summer. He's got full control. We know he got Mitchell fired. He couldn't get on with Ashworth. He now was involved in getting a new man hired. So he's got full control. He runs the place. And you're talking about we've let him down. How the hell have we let him down?
Nonsense.
Yeah, it's absolute foolishness. But listen, so that was the lineup, right? Now, I've only seen highlights because I was at the Palace game today. But I was looking at my messages during the game and I could see, I remember about 4 different Newcastle groups, maybe 5. And everybody was cussing the way the game started. Yeah? Saying we look all over the place. This is similar to West Ham, blah, blah. And then I think it was a goal line scrap early on that we got fortunate that they didn't score from, whatever. Right? Now, the problem is, again, we've taken the lead. I think we've dropped 9 points from winning positions. That's the most in the league or something like that.
Yeah.
We
Right?
have, yeah.
It's absolutely diabolical. Why is it that when we take the lead, we cannot go for the juggler or look secure. We look suspect. We sit back and let teams come onto us. But it doesn't matter who the opposition is or the level of them. It always happens. Yeah. Now, the goal itself. What were your thoughts about the goal, Jefferson, that we scored? Let's talk about one positive. The only positive that we have for the day. The goal.
I mean, incidentally, it was actually a decent bit of football in the build-up. You know, a couple of passes there, some persistence in the midfield to get the ball further up the pitch. You know, if Connor's watching, he'll know that we've talked forever and a day about playing through central positions. That's exactly what happened. It then shifts across to the left, and you know, when you look at Barnes there, composure. That's the word. You
Good
know,
flip from Voltmar, by the way. Good flip.
yeah, because that again that works, isn't it? If you've got someone to hold it up and then lay it off, you suck people in towards you. That then creates space. And we talked about this that you know after who shall not be named, Barnes was the second top scorer and arguably the second best finisher we have. So this experiment of having Gordon as the false nine should never have been a thing. Maybe we should have gone with Barnes, and we might even have more points on the board now. But I digress. It's a great feint into the right, checks back onto the left, sends two of them across, by the way, and then obviously great finish with the left foot, but it's gone through the keeper's legs. He'll probably be pissed that one's gone in, but on our end, you know, it is a good goal. But, you know, I'm sure most fans are like, think we need a second here because we've seen this play out before.
Right.
So, you know, it's kind of carbon copy of last week because
Yeah.
we actually went up,
Of course it is. It's the same thing.
1-0 up
Exact same
last
thing.
week.
Yeah. But I would say, listen, you described the goal perfectly, and I will say it's good to see Barnes on the score sheet. The wingers, you know, contributing to the goals and stuff. But like Roy said, he did nothing else for the whole game. Roy, what do you think? Thoughts of this comment from Mackenzie? Do you guys think this performance was worse than the West Ham game?
Yeah, I think it's worse. West Ham, we can say it was a bit of a shock, but then this happens again, and it's a carbon copy almost of what happened out. And even the timing of the goals as well was very similar.
Yeah.
The third comes in injury time as well. Just I don't know, are we chasing the game or not? Because we looked nowhere near anyway. I think actually our best 5 minutes was the first 5 minutes after Lewis Hall came and Dan Burn was sent off and we played with 10 men. I thought we looked a bit decent there.
Yeah.
Where was that football with 11?
Well, this is it.
And
Toon Army said Man City and Man City next, and then Everton away. We will get hammered. Now, let me tell you something. Yeah, I for the record, I agree. Yeah, but what's gonna piss me off even more is that I'm taking my son up there again, right, for the Man City game, and there's a train. I don't know if there's a train strike or they're doing train thing. The trains aren't running properly on that day, so I'm driving up. Yeah, I'm driving 5 hours one way and 5 hours back with my son, my 6-year-old son. Yeah, to go see us get hammered by Man City. I am going to be fuming. You might even see me on the pitch causing a riot, bro. Like, I'm going to be pissed, wasting my time. Yeah, staying up there as well, money on hotel, just to watch that dross. If it wasn't he come with me, I would have sold my ticket. But it is what it is. But listen, obviously we go 1-0 up, like I said, right? And invite the pressure, whatnot. Right? Now, I said, I think it was in another group, I said, the first 10 minutes of the second half will tell us all we need to know about this game. Now, I don't know what minute they scored in, but I think it was inside the 10 minutes or just after the 10 minutes.
54, I think, or something.
54th, right? Just before the 10 minutes is up. Yeah? We concede. Now, somebody please tell me what the hell Nick Pope was doing for that goal. Jefferson.
You know what? It's for me. It's not even just Nick Pope. You know, when I watch that goal again, you have to have a look at Malik Chow. Unfortunately, he's the spare man. I don't know who he was picking up initially. By the time the ball comes in, he's the spare man, and you're looking at, hold on, you're the centre back, so you need to be covering the central area, the central space. Why is Tonali covering you in the middle? And I have to call out Tonali here. He makes no attempt to get in front of Sharda to head the ball. It's just really lackadaisical. Like, oh yeah, all right, your ball, you have it. But the problem is he shouldn't be there. Tiao should be there. So I think in terms of whether we're zonal, whether we're man to man, that's a problem. We're meant to have got in a set piece coach at the start of the season. I think they need to have a look at defending set pieces because we conceded a last minute one to Arsenal, didn't we? So it's clearly proven a weakness, to be honest with you.
But first of all, and big up Anthony, said this is what happens when you keep playing your favourites, right? Now, we all know Nick Pope is one of the favourites, right? Should he have done better? Like coming to connect. If you're going to come for the ball, get it, clear everything, man and ball. Yeah, he did neither. What's
I
your
think he
thoughts
should
on
have
that?
tried to punch it as well, because I reckon if you do that, everyone moves out of the
But
way. They get scared.
what did he try to do? Because he come out. I thought he looked like he tried to punch, but he just hadn't. Like, what's he tried to do? What's your thoughts, Roy?
Just I think it's wrong timing, wrong place, wrong time, wrong timing. Usually he goes for these balls and punches them because he always does it. But again, is the bad positioning by Tonali and Malik Chow, and how many set pieces have conceded this season now?
Yeah,
That never used to happen last year, the year before, and now it's happening a lot. So things are just going from bad to worse every week. 6 goals. I still can't believe it. We're going to see the 6 goals. I mean, you're saying about Liverpool getting hammered. Liverpool got hammered by one of the best teams on the planet.
yeah.
We got hammered by Brentford.
It's
And West Ham the
embarrassing,
year
Roy.
before.
Yeah,
And
It's
West Ham.
embarrassing, Roy. It's
it
embarrassing.
is. Yeah,
We're getting
Did you-
mocked.
To be fair, what was it got? Just out of curiosity, when Brentford played Liverpool, was it 2-1 or 3-2? What was it? I forgot the score when they played.
they
I know
beat-
they lost.
Wasn't it 2-1 or 1-0, wasn't it?
No, because I'm sure Liverpool scored in that.
I
Oh,
think
no.
Liverpool scored first.
2-1, I think it was,
2-1.
wasn't it?
I think it's 2-1.
Okay. Big up Kim Cam. Evening, lads. Sorry for Eddie Howe's disaster.
It's all good, man. Thanks for joining us.
Big up Stephen. The Eddie Howe horror show, abysmal management. He's on the cliff edge. We may have to get rid.
May?
Boy.
Let's do
Boy.
it. Let's just do it.
Boy.
Those of you that are here know that we don't play, and we've been calling this out for a long time. Yeah? He don't want to be saved, so let's save him. Time to go.
PG said it's interesting. He said Joe Linton has injured opponents way worse than what he got today. I think he just didn't fancy it. A few of them didn't want it. You could see it on their faces. And I read a tweet where one of the journalists is they tried to approach every single Newcastle player to come and address what the problem was or something, and only Trippier and Lascelles acknowledged them and came to speak to them. Like, I think they've all had enough. I think they've all had enough, to be fair. Kim Cam said Eddie Howe looks burnt out like many players. It's time for a long rest. Now, when you say a long rest, do you mean put him out of his misery and get rid of him so we can rest like for a very, very, very long time? Or are you just saying about this international break? Right. Let me know what you think.
Or for him to sleep with the fishes, capiche?
Connor
A
says
holiday in Dubai. That's what he needs.
yeah.
For
So
the
online
6 months.
not with the England, so how can work with them during an international break? Listen, the thing is, because Pope's out with concussion, he misses the international break. Like I said, he could be up for the next game. Yeah, Eddie Howe. Because I don't think Eddie Howe drops all 3 of them if they're available. Yeah, I think at least 2 of them continue to play for us, and that's the worrying thing. But he plays the same way with no imagination.
Kim Cam, just imagine you're saying that. We agree with you. Just imagine what the players are thinking. Now, they don't have the autonomy to speak as freely as we do, but as we know, football is an education. So if you're doing rinse and repeat, you're just going to stagnate. And then after you stagnate, you decline. And that's what we're seeing as a team. The players probably want to be inspired. They want to learn new tactics, new patterns of play, and that's not happening either from the manager or the assistant manager. I think they've reached their level. Time's up.
So let's carry on with the game itself, right? So explain to me this whole this Dan Burn situation, right? Because I saw that they were given a penalty initially for one. It looked like a trip that Dan Burn did on the guy, and then they've overturned it, right? After
Yeah.
VAR, yeah. Which to me it's exactly like a penalty. Like he looked like he did touch him, but fair enough, they've overturned it, right? So who got booked in that situation? Did the guy get booked for simulation, or did the booking get wiped away? What happened?
No, I think he kept the booking. I think he kept the booking.
Who kept the booking? Who got booked?
The Dango Otara.
Right. Okay. Right. Now, why did Dan Burn get the first yellow card for? What was the first yellow card for?
That's an interesting one because if he's got it, then it's for initial. Well, what would it have been for contact in the box? I don't know if that would have come from VAR. If anybody knows, tell us.
I can't remember the first one.
I can't remember.
Right. And then obviously we get away with it. Right. Now, this is the problem. Like, and I'm seeing it a lot of the comments as well. Eddie Howe seeing that Yeah, because apparently Dan Burn being on the yellow card, he should have subbed Dan Burn, right? Can anybody give me an explanation as to why he felt to keep him on the pitch? Yeah, because he said because of Dan Burn's height. Yeah, he wants to
Yeah.
keep him on the pitch. Now, do you think that that's a feasible? Can you see his point? Can you see his point, or do you think nope? He should have subbed him there and then because he's on the yellow card, whatever, and he's playing left back, whatever. They're gonna skin him. They're gonna target him. What's your thoughts, right?
It's absolutely ridiculous for height. I mean, okay, what's the difference between 6'2" and 6'5" or 4", whatever he is? So you're keeping a slow turtle on just because he's about a couple of inches taller than the other two centre backs. And then it was obvious he was going to get battered. And we talked about this a few years ago as well when we had that run, and he was always playing on the left, and Dan Burn was actually 2 years younger then, and just as bad. He's getting worse now because he bumps forward now and doesn't come back. He in his head he probably thinks he's Maldini. Now that he scored that header last week, it's in head. He's got a head like David Beckham's foot. So I don't know. It was the wrong decision. I think Eddie knows that. Eddie knows that. And I had a bet with the guys last week. I said Dan Burn will play if he's fit, and even if Lewis Hall was fit. And I'm telling you now, next week I've got a feeling Trippier's going to be left back, Kraft's going to be right back, and Lewis Hall's going to be on the bench because Eddie's so stubborn. I can see that. I can see that happening.
Well, this is it. Jefferson, what's your thoughts on that, on him keeping him on the pitch? And do you think that Roy is right? That because we spoke about it before, Eddie Howe will find a way to shoehorn Dan Burn into this team. Yeah. And what's your thoughts on it?
Listen, we've seen it before. Dan Burn being skinned not once but twice against Forest. Anthony Elanga tore him a new one. I forgot that winger from Luton tore him a new one twice. Yeah. And we've seen it before that the likes of Willock or Joe Linton, whoever's played there, has had to put in that extra running, to their physical detriment where they've got injured covering this slow coach. Now, I don't want to be disrespectful because it's not his fault. The manager is playing him there, and that's why the manager has to be accountable. But we've seen it so many times historically. He's been ripped to shreds on the outside because he just doesn't have the speed. We talked about it last week in the review of the West Ham game. He gets skinned on the outside, and that's what leads to the Botman own goal because really he should be there to block the cross. So all of this, he needs time. He'll get it right. He'll learn. No, I have no faith in that because you're seeing the danger signs. You're getting a warning. Now, from the time that the penalty was overwritten, we didn't get the penalty. That's the warning sign of, can't let this happen again.
Yeah.
Make that tactical change. Make that tweak. Put the boy out of his misery. But, oh, no. You had to play Russian roulette with our season. And that's what he keeps doing. It's not a game. It's not a game because we're the ones that are losing. I've had enough.
And this is my problem with him, right? Is the sense that, all right, throughout his tenure, he has made the changes and improved plays, whatever. But every change that he's made, or 90% of them, has been forced upon him. Yeah, going back to the Joe Linton thing, he was forced to make that decision, right? Because of the red card when my man got sent off. Yeah, Kieran Clark got sent off, right? So he stumbled into that decision. Yeah,
bringing Bruno into the team.
Yeah. Then you've got
Tonali Longstaff last season.
Right. Yeah, because when Tonali should have been in that team, he was taking forever and a day. It took one horrific run of results and Bruno and Tonali to go knock on his door, for him to change things. Yeah.
Lewis Hall only got a run when I think was it Dan Burn injured his shoulder.
Right.
For exactly. 2 months.
Yeah.
Yes. Nick Pope, Dubravka only came in when Nick Pope got sent off against Liverpool.
And then we've gone on that run.
And Dubravka came in and the side improved.
Right.
So it feels like something has to happen before he makes these changes.
And this is what I'm saying. And this is the problem. Because the only time he has been proactive in making that change is when he tried to put Gordon as false 9. And that hasn't worked.
It's not worked in 2 years, 3 years. It's never worked in not even one single game.
Right. Yeah. Like when Botman had to come back into the centre back role because someone was injured at the time. I forgot last season. That's when he came back in and he played because we played him ahead of schedule and he stayed because he played so well. We kept him in there, whatever. But that wasn't a how decision. That he was forced upon that. So this is my problem with him. Yeah, he's too reactive and he's too stubborn. Now, my question to you guys is, why is it that he's so loyal to certain players and so stubborn in his tactics? Right.
It's just basically lack of quality. He's not an elite manager, and maybe he hasn't got that vision, or he's too scared to take that 5% risk in a game. Like if we took Dan Burn off and then we lost because of Lewis Hall, then he'll put his hands up. So maybe he's worried. Another one I've got here. Remember last season, Gordon got sent off, and we were going through a really bad patch of football for about a month and a half. With Gordon was playing as well, and then Gordon gets sent off. Barnes comes in, and suddenly we had this 5 or 6 games of winning,
and he was scoring in damn near every game, or assisting,
And we won the cup final without him as well.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Gordon comes back, and then he starts playing him again slowly, and then you see what happened in our last 4 or 5 games. We only beat Chelsea and then got beat.
Yeah.
In the last 2 games.
But also, you remember the Lewis Hall thing, right? Like you just said about. Remember when he brought Lewis Hall in initially? Yeah, because everyone was calling for Lewis Hall to start. Lewis Hall came, and I think he had 45 minutes of a bad start. Yeah, I think it was in the Champions League or something, whatever. And he hauled him off, and he benched him for a very long time. It's like he did it out of spite.
Yes,
yeah.
He did,
I told you so. I told you so. That kind of thing. Like the guy is too damn stubborn to his detriment, and it's costing him. Yeah, and he's loyal to the wrong players. Yeah, just because they've got passion, they fight for the badge, or whatever. That's not good enough.
I told everyone, D-Man, though, his background. What's his background? EFL.
Yeah.
EFL. He managed from League 2 and League 1, and that's the level he played as a player with Bournemouth and Portsmouth and all of that. So that's going to be his grounding. The same as Jason Tyndall. That's their level.
Adrian said the players are looking robotic. They're playing without joy and belief. Stephen said Barnes a goal threat subbed ridiculous, and Tonali off as well. So it's in-game management that's costing him as well. Team Season said, Jefferson, please tell me what I've been watching lately. How is Eddie Howe still here?
Shocking.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people owe me apologies. Yeah. So well done to those of you that backed me and listened to me from day one, because I've been going on for time.
You know what?
And I've looked like a madman in the village, but I know when I'm right. I'm right. He's a mug.
I was talking to my best friend Curtis, who's also a Newcastle fan, and he told me today. He said, "Listen, I've got it in writing. Yeah, when I said, and this is him. He said, I said when we finished 5th last season, that's when Eddie Howe should have been sacked. He should have gone. He said because we basically fluked our way to fifth. He said,
we did, yeah.
Everyone else was playing rubbish.
7th, you mean? Do you mean 7th when he finished 7th?
No, but he talked about last season. At the end of last season.
Yeah, okay. He got
us the cup, but he fluked away to 5th, and he said we ain't going to get that opportunity again, playing the way we play. Yeah, so he said that would have been the time. Go out on a high because you've got us the cup, you've got us 5th place. Yeah, and I agree with that more than the 7th place because, like I said, without that, we wouldn't have got the cup. So we got the cup, got the 5th place. That's when he should have said, you know what? I've taken you as far as I can. Leave. Was it? Die a hero, live long enough to be a villain. Yeah? And this is what's happening. This is exactly what's happening. But the problem that we face now is that he's got so much control over the club, that it's going to take one hell of an effort to get rid of him. Yeah? Now, Kim Cameron just said, the big problem is PIF. They do not have a plan B, and they're not thinking of any change, and that's exactly it. But before we go on to this, let's just wrap up the game itself, right? Because, like I said, we got away with the penalty thing, and then a few minutes later, I think it was the 73rd minute or something. Dan Burn gives away the penalty again. Now he's let the ball run across him, and he's then taken a swing, and to me, that looked less of a penalty than the first one, But the ref, having overturned,
he's making up for it.
He's making up for it, and he's telling us we ain't learned from our lesson. Yeah, if you're going to be that stupid to keep this brother on the pitch, more for you, innit? More for you, and he's giving the penalty. And the thing is, Dan Burn knew because he didn't even appeal for it. He just he's like, yeah, he's just waiting. And even when the refs gave him he's like, yep, that's my walking order. 10 men.
Blessing in disguise, that
I
red
wonder
card.
if he's fuming at Eddie for putting him out of position there.
Whoa, that's it. And the thing is, you say blessing in disguise. The Newcastle fans are saying, why couldn't it have been a straight red? Because that would have been 3 games out. He's only going to miss 1 game.
Yeah.
So, and that's the Man City game. Now, that's a game where we're not going to get nothing out of. Yeah, but that's going to be his excuse to bring Dan Burn back in. Yeah, I'm telling you, whether it's centre back or left back, he's coming back into that team. Yeah, but anyway, Igor steps up and he sorts it away because Ramsdale had to come on because again, a forced change. Pope's been KO'd, concussed, so he's had to replace him. First thing Ramsdale's got to do is put the ball out of the net. Yeah, 2-1, right? And like you said, we're chasing the game. Well, I say chasing the game. From what I saw, I don't think we offered too much, to be fair. But like I said, we look better with Lewis Hall on the pitch. But got caught on a break, and I think it was Malik Charles slid in, and Botman was caught sleeping. But maybe I think he'd given up by then, to be fair. And they slotted away 3-1.
Poor communication. Again, to be fair, I don't think Botman had a shocker there. And I'm normally quite defensive of Botman. Tiao unfortunately can't get enough on the knock on with his leg. He's trying to get it across to Botman. Botman doesn't only see the blind run behind him, but I think there's a mix up between him and the keeper because there's no way Ramsdale's making it there. It's too far out because he's leaving it for Ramsdale to get it. But I'm thinking, bro, you're closer. What are you doing?
Well, you know what?
What are you doing?
That's what's happened when you've got probably your best option as keeper not getting enough game time to work with his back line. Yeah. And you get punished for it. Yeah. Now, my problem is that, like I said, does Ramsdale even keep his place back in that team? If it's just concussion and he's got that timeout, whatever, maybe I don't know if he still has to miss 1 game, but when you've got internationals and whatnot, he's going to miss those. Does he come straight back into the team with this big game against Man City? Does he trust Ramsdale? I don't think he does. So that's going to be another thing. Yeah. Big up Gaz in the building. Nick Pope is a clown, right on time. Team Caesar says, get this staff and manager out. No clue how to win. No tactical ideas how to play. I'm sorry. Sack all playing staff now. Interesting.
I think we've regressed, D-Man. Someone made a point about Bruce. I think we're very close to that now. We're very close to that. And actually, in some ways, as bad as Steve Bruce was, at least we had St. Maximan and Wilson, who, it felt like there was a little bit of hope there. Like right now, it feels like we're barely going to score a goal, if 2, if any.
Well, let's talk.
And he found a way as well. Bruce found a way to score.
And that's crazy we're even saying that. But,
Big up Marco. He said, most of our losses have been partly due to mistakes in defence by the same culprits, Burn and Pope, especially Pope. Brad says, Pope consistently misses in plays similar to that. Misses in plays similar to that. Big up Abba. Get this manager out. I'm tired.
Yes.
Big C. But Pope shouldn't be here. He was trying to punch the ball like Michael Jackson in Space Jam. This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. Where was he going?
Not
and what was he doing? Yeah, Michael Jordan, to be fair. By the way, I will be going to see that Michael Jackson biopic next year. That looks like it's going to be a big one.
I'm going to definitely go as well.
Yeah. Brad, we only score 1 goal per game. We aren't good enough defensively to only score 1.
Relegation form. It's relegation form.
I was at the Palace game watching on the app and I saw 1-0 up, right? And I thought, the longer this goes on, there's no way we're stopping Brentford from scoring. It's like I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the 1-1. And when it got to 1-1, I thought, you know what? It's not even going to get annoy me when we go 2-1 down. It's not even going to annoy me because they're expecting it now. I'm expecting it. And that's a sad state of affairs, right? Now, we lose 3-1, right? And again, like we said, that's no away wins for the season. Bar Wolves, that must be the worst record for the season because obviously Wolves ain't won a game. Yeah. But we are now sitting 2 points above the relegation zone. Yeah. Now, I don't know if anyone could list the next 5 fixtures that we have, right? But things are looking very precarious at the moment. Like, Roy, how worried are you that we are going to be dragged into a relegation fight?
As long as we're not in the bottom 3 yet, I think we'll pull out. Especially after the Everton game, the rest seem winnable a bit. But if we get beat off City and then those bottom 3 teams win, well, So we've got West Ham, on 12. What's happening on 10 points?
Yeah.
So if they win, they go 13. We go below them. Then you got Fulham as well above them, and then a couple of other. I can't remember the other ones. But yeah, if those teams win,
Well, let me
we're
look at
down.
it. Yeah, Fulham are home to Sunderland, so difficult game. West Ham away to
So,
Bournemouth.
which
Yeah,
is crazy to say, really crazy. A team playing Sunderland, and he's saying it's a difficult game now.
yeah, yeah.
The
It's
regression is clear to see now.
Yeah,
but I mean, if the unthinkable happens, right, and Fulham beat Sunderland and West Ham beat Bournemouth, we go into a game at 5 because they'll both play at 3 o'clock. By the way, yeah. How many points are Burnley on? By the way,
Is it 10 points or
Burnley might be 10 or 11. Is it? Let me have a
because
look. I
Burnley are
think
home.
10. I think
10 points? Yeah.
Right, so Burnley are home to
10.
Chelsea, yeah, at 12:30 at
Okay,
the
they won't
turf.
win that one.
You never know. You never know with Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't which one's going to turn up. But
yeah,
remember, half of the players are international duty coming back on that and it's Saturday 12:30. You never know, right? And Burnley are at home. They're very good defensively at home. Yeah, so they could sneak a 1-0. You never know. So we can go into that 5:30 game with Burnley, Fulham, and West Ham all winning. Yeah. Now you think I'm joking? How many points are Wolves on, please? 2.
2.
All right, we
2.
don't have to worry about Wolves, yeah, but they're home to Crystal Palace, right? But we could be going into that game against Manchester City with a must win, yeah. And we know how we do against Man City, and this is a Man City that just peppered Liverpool, by the way, yeah, who are
Yeah,
on the up against an informed Erling Haaland. We are going to be fried, yeah. And if we fall into that relegation zone, pull the trigger,
pressure.
yeah, because that's pressure.
I think 2 more losses, he just has to go regardless. There shouldn't
But
be any of this, oh, we're going to get better. Look at what he did
no,
last season. We're going
but
to go on a run. I'll wait for
we
Tino
are
to come
losing 2
back.
games.
I'll wait for Vissa
No,
to come back.
It's not.
Like,
It's not about if we lose it. We are losing the next 2 games. It's home to Man City and away
so
to
why isn't
Everton.
he gone now? This is the thing. What is the board waiting for? Do you see what I'm saying? Because when you look at this season, we're paper champions. Yeah? Yeah? The wins in the Premier League come against Wolves, who are 20th, Forest, who are 19th, and Fulham, who are 15th. That's nothing to shout about. And then the
Yep.
fact that you've lost 5 out of 11. Last time we lost 5 out of 15, and that was seen as chaotic. So it shows the real regression is there. How much more do you need to be pushed over a cliff? And I know people keep saying he's got credit in the bank. I've said it from day one. Cup is a bonus. League is bread and butter. That is what you are judged on. And we know with PSR, as it stands, because the ESAC profit will go at some point, if we don't get Champions League, which I know sounds laughable at this moment, but it's still salvageable if you're bringing an elite manager like a Mancini, he's able to spend similar as Eddie did, 250 in the window. We might be able to move up the league. It may come to a point where we're having to sell players to kind of stay afloat. You know, I mean, the
Um,
Champions League revenue won't kick in until the following season. So
yeah. All right. So big up Ginger Hoskin. He said, "D man, today I'm sure I saw Steve Bruce managing Newcastle today."
yeah,
But listen, smash the likes, people. Keep the like count
hit the
coming up in
likes,
the back.
man.
Yeah, get them in and
Hit the
appreciate all your
likes, son.
comments and that. I just want to ask the people in the chat: is there anybody in the chat that still thinks Eddie Howe deserves time? And if so, why? Yeah, because I'll be interested because obviously we are going in on the but I need to know if there's someone in the chat, speak up, let us know your thoughts if he deserves more time and how much time and why. Yeah, because like I said, I've been one of the advocates for him to stay and stuff, but even that, bro, I didn't even watch the game properly. Yeah, I've just seen the highlights and I've seen what's going on. I've seen this
You
press
don't want to
conference.
see him.
You don't want to see it. Trust me.
It's a dark day, man. It's a dark day.
The football's terrible. I think we're probably, bar Wolves, the worst footballing side in the league. We look like
Yep.
we can't string passes together. Seriously. Even against Bilbao, we were shocking. And most of the wins we had, I've talked about the league wins, the cup wins, Bradford. We should be beating Bradford. Spurs had injuries. And even if we've beaten them, they're still above us in the league. So
They had
what?
like 8 or 9
So
changes,
what?
Spurs.
Yeah? Do you
No,
see what I'm saying?
we made more changes than Spurs in that game.
Champions League, bruv, you can't tell me that Benfica team was a team. They weren't a serious team, bruv.
Yeah.
No, them,
They
no, them,
had a
none of
guy
them.
on the right wing that had a bit of a shot. They've
No, their
sold all their
manager.
best players.
Their
They don't
manager's toast as
they,
well.
they they don't have anybody. And then what? If we're judging by Union Saint-Gilloise, we're talking about Belgian football. They're not even Club Brugge, you know.
Yeah, they're Union and whatever. They're garbage. Benfica are garbage. So's
So
their
we've
manager,
beaten nobody
and
of
and we've
credit.
beaten nobody of credit. I agree.
And
Yeah, this
Bilbao,
season is bad, guys. We're sleepwalking. I'm not saying towards relegation, but towards a relegation fight. And that wasn't our aim, having finished fifth last season and supposedly bolstered our squad for £250 million, which I was told by everyone, oh, Jefferson, you're so negative. Eddie deserves to be backed. He deserves to be backed. Watch when he spends, yeah? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, he was right to oust Paul Mitchell. Let's get behind the manager.
Yeah, the
We
Paul
did
Mitchell
that.
thing.
What's happened? What's happened? Where's my apologies, people?
The
Where are my
The Paul
apologies?
Mitchell thing,
Yeah?
I was the first one who called out that meeting that they had, yeah, and it was obvious that Eddie Howe got him sacked, yeah, and I wasn't having the fact that Eddie came out and said it was a surprise to me when I woke up and I found that he'd left the building. You're chatting rubbish, bro. We all know. I don't have to. We know what happened when we qualified for Champions League. You had a trump card. You called that meeting with the manager, the chairman, sorry, who was on cloud nine, and you said him, it's Mitchell on me, yeah, and you forced his arm and he got rid of Mitchell because Mitchell was gone 2 days later. Yeah, that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. And then we
that's what
spent.
happened.
And I thought that we salvaged the window, yeah, but let's not act like we had to salvage it based on what happened with no sporting director. Yeah, we've seen rejection after rejection after rejection.
Rejection
In,
FC.
inexperience in the boardroom, yeah, and it only came down to Eddie Howe. So yes, he might have saved it, but again, and it doesn't look like he saved it now anyway, because like I said, it's only a couple of them that's worked out so far. But it is dire to me. It's dire straits. I think we're in a relegation fight. I don't know if we have the players to. I'm not saying we will get relegated, but the playing staff that we have and the way it looks like to me, it looks like he's lost the dressing room. Yeah, and you talk about the facts of Malik Chow, Tonali, Botman, Voltamada. Yeah, they must be looking around his dressing room thinking, apart from good vibes, what's going on there? What am I surrounded by? Yeah, and with the manager, yeah, who's telling me these bait tactics, nothing's changing. He doesn't approach games for the team that we're playing. It's one way, and then he'll just throw caution to the wind and hope it sticks after that if it doesn't work. And there's no in-game management. And I take it back to the Brighton game. Brighton game, we started it so well. Brighton changed their formation after 10 minutes because they knew it wasn't working. And after that, they steamrolled us, bro. Yeah, and they beat us. Yeah, a real proper manager can spot these changes, make the changes in game. Yeah, be proactive about things, and see the outcome. His was we used to criticize him because he used to make the same changes every 65 minutes. He's making a change. Like big up the AC, he used to always bang on about this 60 minutes, 65 minutes. He's making the same changes. Now he's gone from that to half time. Yeah, but it's like one way or the other. He just throws caution to him. There's no method to it. And even when he makes that, like the last game against West Ham, is it West Ham? Yeah, West Ham. He took the wrong players off. Yeah, he made the wholesale changes, but taking the wrong players off the pitch and keeping the wrong players on. So to me, and if you look at his press conferences now, he looks like he's lost, bruv. He looks lost. Yeah, we have to stick together. Yeah, I take sole responsibility. Well, you should take sole responsibility. Yeah, because this was on you and nobody else. Yeah, and to me personally, I don't see how this changes. And I take it back. This fixtures that we've got coming up, they're no joke, you know.
He needs to go.
There is no joke. Bar Burnley at home, where can we say, you know what? We'll probably get the 3 points. Yeah, and even Burnley will frustrate us
Not many of
defensively.
those games.
Which game? 'Cause I know we've got to play Tottenham, we've got to play Man City, we've got to play Everton, we've got to play Burnley. I think we've got to play Sunderland away.
Phew.
Yeah,
That might be the one that gets rid of him.
and I want to address the Sunderland thing quickly, yeah, because I was in group chats where when Sunderland were going through the playoffs, they were saying, "Yeah, get Sunderland back up here. I want this derby." Da 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 da. Be careful what you wish for, innit? Yeah, because if we play Sunderland the way they're playing, the way we're playing, they will smack us. And I dare him to get smacked by Sunderland if he's still in the job, because that will be the nail in the coffin. He will be gone. He'll be he'll be toast. He'll be toast.
Someone's mentioned Man United. Again, that's also a kind of marker of where we're at the moment because Man United was supposedly in crisis. They're doing better than us.
Bruv,
Yeah,
they're sitting above Liverpool right now.
and
So
and
Much
those
better
imagine.
than
two
us.
and those two key players that we really wanted, Cunha and Mbuemo, they forget Sesko because he's shocking, but those two rejected us, and you can see how they've just changed Man United's fortune. But fair play to them because Eddie would have killed their career. He doesn't know how to manage technical players. He just wants athletes. He just wants runners. So done with this. You know, there was tributes to the 4 years. Personally, I think the first 2 years were great, and despite the cup win, I think the second 2 years were below par in my opinion. I
Well,
think a lot
look,
of it has been on gas, on gas.
okay. Right. Scans, what do you think of the Tonali comments in the week?
Well, his body language changed completely after he shoved him and made him a right back against West Ham. You're getting beat 1-0, and you take one of your probably the only creative player, the only one with a brain you've got in midfield. You take him and you put him a right back, and his body language is gone since. And even today's game, he didn't look like he's bothered. He was subbed out as well. So we get him beat, and then he takes him off. Um, Eddie stays, Tonali leaves. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
If
agreed.
Eddie's here, end of the season, Tonali's gone in the summer.
Yeah,
The only way they stay is if we show ambition. Ambition is to unfortunately get rid of the current manager, get an elite manager in that gives us hope that we're going to reach those heights again, and give them money to spend. Because if other players come in of equal quality to Tonali, he'll be thinking,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, this ain't so bad." But if we don't show any ambition, yeah, he's got every right to want to go.
Anthony said the thing is that it has to take a red card and injuries for his favourite to be pulled off the pitch. Now that's a worry out for me, and that's the thing. Like we said, he's forced upon these changes, um, and it started to tell in it because everyone's getting
Yeah.
frustrated. Everyone knows that the formation he's going to play. They know that the lineup he's going to play. Bar maybe one or two with the wingers he likes to chop and change now and again, but we know this the same personnel, the same favourites are going to be there no matter what, no matter what. And the thing is, with these journalists, very few of them are brave enough to call him out on this. Yeah, they're shook of him. They're shook, and obviously there's other podcasts that don't want to rock the boat because they're in with the club and whatnot. But call a spade, man. This guy is messing up big time. He's messing up big time in 4K, and it don't look like it's going to change anytime soon. It's like you knew he was going to lose to Brentford. We screaming like a point would be great, but we knew deep down we were going to lose. Yeah, even when we gone 1-0 up, I had no confidence that we were going to come out there with 3 points, none whatsoever. But I don't know. Marco said Voldemort is starting to irritate me. Even the commentator was criticizing Voldemort that 18 touches, or none in the box, and he lost possession about 6 times. He refused to act like a striker, in my opinion.
I blame the wingers. I blame the
That's not
wingers.
his. Oh yeah, I don't blame him at all for this.
Luke says Eddie Howe's comments after the game regarding Burns' height just showed a shift in mindset. Defense first, it used to be the opposite. Well, again,
Yeah.
that's a cop out, by the way. This just Dan Burns' height thing. It's an absolute cop out, yeah. Because also Dan Burns take the throw-ins, yeah. So he never utilizing his height offensively anyway. Like it's just
Exactly. Yeah.
like, it's
With a
not
broken hand.
It's very Southgate-esque,
yeah,
how the way he's going now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Big up Kante in the building, by the way. It's a Dan Burn, Fulham Academy graduate, always one of our own. Take him, innit? Take him. Yeah. Gaz says, Tyndall
Wasn't
looked
he
great
was
after
at
the game.
Darlington before Fulham, wasn't he?
Yeah. He said that Tyndall looked great after the game. He knows what's coming. Well, does he though? Is PIF bold enough to sack Eddie now? Yeah. Because what do you think? What do you think if PIF was to pull the plug on it now, right? Do you think there would be? How do you think the majority of the fans would react? Would they be disappointed or would they understand it, Jefferson?
I think majority of fans would be pissed because, again, without insulting people, we've got a cult on our hands. So and I think they'd feel the burn for a bit, but yeah, eventually they'd see the vision potentially of the board. But it depends who the replacement is. So if the replacement was what they would deem as below Eddie's par, then that's going to bring disappointment. But I think people have to understand now it's high stakes. From time you're 2 points above relegation, and you spent 250 million in the summer, the bill comes due. Like, you need success. You know, you need success. So, but I think everyone's frustrated with the board too, because I think the whole thing with the Mitchell thing, how that played out, and also, come on, we're 4 years in, we're not even hearing about a stadium at the, we haven't got the stadium situation sorted. So I think the longer they let this run, it's showing that they're not football people. So the key one will be the new CEO. What does he think? Because I think if Eels was here, I think obviously Eddie would have been gone.
Okay, interesting. Kim Cam said, Jefferson, the players knows this is why there was sympathy with Isak. So
Exactly.
I agree. I agree. Like the players, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. Like they know how these things work. And listen, as much as you want to criticize and whatnot with Isak, he jumped ship. He might see it as the right time. He might see he could probably see he might be seen as a prophet. Yeah, he knew what was coming, and he thought, you know what, I don't want to stick around for this. I want to be on better things, on to bigger and bigger, better things. But NUFC Truth said, D man, tell me when Eddie's sacked, because till then I'm done watching him relegate us because of his pride.
I hear that. I hear the frustration, bro.
Yeah. Marco agree. Burns should have been subbed first yellow, but Howard didn't act. Marco,
Yeah.
what was the first yellow for? Please tell us.
He pulled a player back. I think Connor answered that
Right. Okay.
at one point.
Okay. Yeah. Steven
Yeah,
said it as
and
well.
Stephen as
Okay.
well.
Okay. Brant said, "What is Baltimore to do when three players are constantly on him because we can't bring the ball up the pitch and get him in proper positions?" Interesting.
Mm,
Interesting.
mm.
Yeah.
All right. We've got Burnell. Big up Burnell. First yellow, Burn jumped and collapsed on a player for absolutely no reason. Boy, it just first yellow was in the
Yeah, I
fourth.
saw that in the first half. Yeah.
Perspective from Oba says, Howe needs to go. He's so limited. He spent 250 million. He keeps playing his favourites. I'm glad we are playing City and Everton. I am done with happy clapping. We just have a bunch of Usain Bolts.
Yes, sir.
So I tell you what, they're not even that fast anymore.
Colties, we've had enough of you, mate. Where's the excuses? I want to hear it. Where you at, Colties? Where you at?
Yeah, but listen, like I
Yeah?
said, we're here for a debate. So if anyone is
Where you
still
at?
in,
Come
yeah,
through.
can share the. But make sure you,
Not a good night to do it though, because you will be finished.
but make sure you,
So
hold on, make sure you slap a like before we
come
criticize.
through if you want.
Before we get rid of them, make sure you slap a like on it before you do. Yeah, before Jefferson gets onto your back. Yeah,
I ain't playing today.
but
I ain't playing. I ain't got
listen.
time.
Christopher says we should go 5 at the back against City. Chow, Botman, and Burn centre backs, Hall, Trippier, fullbacks. But Burn's
Burn
suspended.
suspended.
He's suspended. So
Yeah.
unless you're going to bring in Lascelles, then I don't know what.
No, in this condition, I stick to your 4-3-3
Listen,
that
man,
you do.
Pivas is doing all right.
Have a go.
Under
Have a go.
21s.
Hold on. Listen to Gaz. He said, now I know where Dan Burn's missing figure went. It's lodged up How's arse. Big up Aaron in the building. He said, how in them comments basically says he prefers to stop them rather than go attack to our strengths with Lewis Hall on the left. And that's very telling. Yeah, that's very telling. He's too worried about what they can do. Well, he's not even worried about what they could, because if he was really worried about what they could do, he wouldn't put Dan Burn left back. Yeah, because teams target Dan Burn every single game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I don't know. Big Yink said Eddie Howe would rather us lose than drop his favourites, and you know what? I can't even argue with that. I can't even argue with that. But wait, do you think that there's any chance? Yeah, because we all know the run that we went on last season, right? Now, do you think, because there will be fans that will say, listen, we've done it before. There's no reason why we can't do it again. They'll also point to the Vissa injury. And obviously, if Lewis Hall comes back, Tino comes back, we'll be in a better place. Give us more options. What's your thought? Is there any weight to that argument?
Yeah, I mean, we are missing Tino and Lewis Hall intentionally. And we had Isak who bailed us out last season as well a lot. He scored, 22 goals? We will miss those 20 goals. We haven't got anyone in the team now who's going to score 22 goals. So Isak bailed them out. The players looked better last season as well. Now we've got Magpie in, so we haven't got Fabian Schär playing regularly. And because we had Tino and Lewis Hall playing on the left the whole time last season, we barely saw Dan Burn playing on the left. If you remember the beginning of the season, our first 3 away games, Dan Burn was in centre back. I mean, yeah, in the central defence, and we had 3 clean sheets away and 1 at home. And then suddenly he's gone to the left, and
We've
Chow
fallen
and
apart.
Botman, yeah, and then everything's gone, and we're not even scoring goals up front. So I don't know. I can't see us do a run like that. I'll be really happy once we hit 40 points this season, just
That's
like we
mad.
used to do.
That's
Yeah,
mad.
once we hit 40 points, I'm gonna be like, thank God.
All
Hope
right.
for a cup run.
With Big Ink said, it's Eddie Howe getting Gordon, Pope, and Burns ready for England, and I think yes, he is. I think he wants to see Dan Burn at left because he loves Dan Burn. He's such a good guy, such a professional. Whatnot, it'll be such a great story, you know. And he could be the manager that helped Dan Burn get the place right. Gordon can do no wrong in his eyes because, like I said, Gordon's been underperforming in that league. He's been sent off and costing us, and he still walks back into the team. Yeah. So, and now Pope's been recalled back to the England team. Why is he going to drop him when there's a chance that he can still make it there? Yeah. I don't think. Like I said, I think he's being selfish about this. He's selfish and stubborn, and it's costing us. Yeah, it's costing us because everybody can see what's wrong, and he fails to address it. But I don't know. Mackenzie said the preseason was an eye opener. No change of tactics, same old play, and still to this day he has no man management. He's been forced to make the right changes through injury or red cards. The preseason,
People, including people on this panel, said pre-season doesn't matter, but we
I
were
said that.
right.
I said that. I said
Yep,
that.
and we
Yeah.
said it's
Don't
a
say people don't pull
precursor.
me out.
So
No. I said
we
it.
were
I said
right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
D
say
man
D-Man
said
said
it.
it. Right.
D man
Thank
said
you.
it along with some
Don't run
others.
away from it. Don't run away from it. Yeah.
Along with some others. We know what we're talking about. Pre-season is a precursor to for the next season coming. We were shocking. Not one single win, and the South Korea best 11 beat us. Embarrassing.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Embarrassing.
That was a joke, bro. I couldn't believe that. I was on holiday, bro. When I saw the result, bro, I couldn't believe it. But listen, we are where we are, man. We are where we are.
How out, baby? How out?
But Brad said both Hall and Miley only got into the team due to injuries. When are we going to see
Yeah.
Lewis Miley again? Do you think?
Only if Joe Linton and Ramsey are both injured.
Do we know what's
Or
wrong
you're
with Joe
not
Linton,
seeing
by the way? Because apparently he said he's waiting for the diagnosis, but he always seems to get injured just before international duty. Like,
it's probably just a bit of tissue from the guy's studs, but I'll be back in the next game. Slower and worse.
That's the worrying thing. Listen, it's coming to the point where we also say obviously we need to evolve from the Joel into position, but he's looking finished. He's looking. It could be this. We've seen the best of him, and he's never going to recover because there's no sign to say whether he's been carrying a long-term injury and if he is, been Wise Howe playing him, but he just doesn't look like the same guy. Yes, we know he's limited in certain things, whatever, but even he's getting bullied now. He's getting bullied. You know what I mean? He just doesn't look. He can't do anything. He can't do anything, but he's still getting picked, and I don't understand why. Like, I think he's just you're gonna see a complete decline from this guy. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what Hal continues to do with him and chooses him. I don't think. But I think
You know what's interesting is the academy. Obviously, before we were quite rubbish, weren't we? But I think I saw today that we were second in our league in the
yeah,
under-21s, and Pivas has been playing centre back, but he can play defensive midfield as well.
yeah.
You know, again, he's another one to watch since he's come into the under-21s. We've been quite steady defensively. Again, take a look at these guys in training. Sean Neve got the winner in their recent game. I can't remember who we played. Was it Burnley? I think we won 3-2 or something.
Yeah.
Sean Neve got the winner. Again, if you've got no strikers on the bench, surely he'd be good enough for 10, 15 minutes if we're up against it. Blood, the academy and the youth through.
Like Connor said, Chow only started because of the Shah concussion, the Fabian Schär concussion. So another example. Now, Right, and we know who Jefferson would like. He liked Mancini. I think he's finally got over the Jose Mourinho nonsense. Yeah, but
Yeah.
let's Ray. Who would you like to see at the helm if Eddie Howe was to go? A realistic option.
I think there's about 5 or 6 in the Premier League itself that would do a better job than him. I like Ariola from Bournemouth. I like him. I don't like Mancini because I've seen him with Saudi, and that was shocking. So I think he needs. He will need a lot. He will need a lot of money. He will need a lot of money
for himself and the players.
And the players, and he was actually in Qatar last week, and I think he was offered the job with Al Sadd, which he didn't take. Yeah, there's loads. I'm trying to think. Mourinho is never going to happen, so that's gone.
Thank God.
And then forget, because we do have the happy clappers, and then we've got the crazy ones, which is like, we'll get Pep, and we'll get. We're not going to get Pep. And we're not going to get.
That's my dream, bro. That will never happen.
Yeah,
never.
Yeah, Klopp. We're not going to get Klopp.
No.
So players coaches like that.
Do you think
I like the one?
Nagelsmann would come to us?
Yeah,
maybe.
Would you take him?
I like one of the young ones, like the ones that coach Borussia Dortmund and stuff, and just get someone like that with some fresh ideas with these players.
Yeah.
And you'll never see Dan Burn playing again on the left. Like stupid stuff like this. Probably a few training sessions, and you'll never see Pope in goal again.
True.
Yeah, and then I think somebody will figure out how to fix this midfield with Tonali and Joe Linton and Bruno.
Yeah,
because I still think you either go 2 in the middle, 2 as a 6, and then get Ramsey to play as a 10, or with Wissa back, Voltemade can be the 10, which is basically a 4-4-2 kind of. So, or 4-2-3-1, which way it goes. Just change things, change it. We're just like an open book. 5 minutes, and you know what's going to happen. Like, this is the problem with our team. Trippier passes it to the winger, whoever that is. And I think Trippier prefers Murphy in front of him. Murphy, back to Bruno back to Trippier, and then within 3 minutes, it's back with Pope, who kicks it out. And it's just copy-paste and deja vu and Groundhog Day again. And I still don't believe why are people blinded by what's Eddie doing. Because he's not.
Well, you say the funny thing is nobody in his comments has come up with a chat to back him, so that could be quite telling.
That's good. Yeah,
because they know we're their alternative. That's why.
Yeah. NUFC True said D-Man Jefferson is the real reason how wants Prem proven players is because after Isak leaving us, top talent not wanting to play for him because of the stubborn attitude and lack of creativity.
Possibly.
Probably. Yeah, his biggest fans are the English players and the English media, and that could be something in that. To be fair,
Daily Mail.
Yeah. I see Connor mentioned Fabregas as an option. I think I like that. Fabregas.
Yeah, I like it.
Why not take a punt on it? Asia said, "How was never forgiven Hall for not being tall enough."
That's true.
Interested. But yeah, that's it. Lewis Hall against Dortmund. That's what I was referring to. Big up Yinks. He said he ripped him up. He ripped him off after 45 minutes.
That was a footballing lesson for everyone that game.
Yeah.
Adrian said, "You're still a madman in the village, Jeff."
The quotas are diminishing one by one, though. I'm going to keep on.
Big up POB. Said Eddie out. He ultimately will be an architect of his own downfall. And then Abba said the winning run and the cup win papered over the cracks.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
that should be quote unquote from me last season.
That is a quote from you. That's your burner, bro. That's your burner. That's your burner. Is that your burner, Jefferson? Is that your burner?
And I was told I was negative, yeah?
You're not denying it. Is that your burner account?
I was told I was negative.
Is that your burner account?
You're a joker.
Because it's a faceless account. It's too convenient.
You're a joker.
Quote for quote. Quote for quote. This is a big one. Eddie Howe out. I said it. I was raging along with many hours of Brazil on the pitch on the yellow. Car crash waiting to happen. Now, for those who don't know, Stephen was a big Eddie Howe advocate, yeah, and he even got really annoyed with Jefferson early on in the stream when Jefferson was on Eddie Howe, but now he looks like he's been converted. So big up Stephen.
Magic.
Big up.
Ashington says Eddie Howe's problem he hasn't got 11 Dan Burns for every position. Listen, why
All
can't
the
this,
games will end up with 0-0.
why can't this be? In fact, to be fair, it was communicated to him in the press conference. I don't know which journalist it was that asked him about it, keeping him on whatever, and that's when he came out with the height nonsense. So that was one journalist that had the ball to kind of question his thinking about that one. But more money to put pressure on him. You know what I mean? But he said if he continues a bad run and gets smashed by Sunderland, is Eddie sacked? Well, he should be 100%. He should, and I don't think it could be before that because that a heavy loss in that game. Listen, he might not make it out of the stadium. You know what I mean? Like it could be that sticky for him. Big up Foxy in the building. Said D-Man, Jeffersonio, Roy, and chat.
Big up Foxy.
Pop said, does David Hopkins even have the power to sack Eddie? I doubt it. Listen, Eddie runs that club with an iron fist, mate. Yeah, he rules with an iron fist. He is the guy in the club. Yeah, he will leave when he wants to leave. I think things, like I said, the Sunderland thing. If we lose the next two and then we lose to Sunderland, listen, that's when it could get real sticky for him. Real sticky for him. But Sunderland will batter us. Listen, they probably will.
The way we are, yeah.
Apart from our rumour, is anyone at the board level who isn't flunky, a stooge, or a nepo baby?
Adrian always comes up with these things, isn't it? Always on the money, man. Always on the money.
Perspective said, bring in Glasner or Iriola. How is
Glasner amazing as well.
Yeah, listen.
I mean, Glasner's won the FA Cup, hasn't he?
Yeah,
and the Europa League.
Yeah. The regression was always going to happen with Champions League added. Eddie's lack of experience with this is showing. Saying back for midfield three we started versus Bilbao B-side, but to be 2 points off 18th is unacceptable. And that's the killer. That is the killer. 2 points off 18th. Yeah, and we can't even say we're too big to go down. Yeah, because we've seen this happen before.
It's happened before, yeah.
You know what I mean? Stop the bleeding. Yeah, stop the bleeding before it's too late. Because boy, if we get sucked into, if we spend that 1 or 2 game weeks in that bottom three, we will find it very, very difficult to get out of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's and everyone's got the same thing. Brad, Man City will go to destroy us.
What is Bunt saying though? Because this is the problem we ran into 2 years ago, where he kept rinsing the players out till like physically they were shattered. So Bunt surely must be saying, look, Eddie, you need to make changes. Maybe make 4 changes.
I don't know, but someone needs to do something. Someone needs to tell him something. But then, like we said, Eddie's stubborn. He's stubborn. So if you don't want to do it, he's not going to do it. That's when he has to be put out of his misery. RSV said, is Anthony Gordon down in tools? I think he down tools a long time ago. Yeah, especially in the league. Yeah, the Champions League performances have saved him to a certain degree, but it's not. It's not good enough. The inconsistency is not good enough. And he does become a liability at times because he's always got that thing in where he's going to get sent off for stupidity. You know what I mean? So, but as long as he's getting his England call-ups, why should he care? You know what I mean? So,
would you take a risk on Fabregas, D-man? I mean, people saying it's a risk, but
I would.
He's doing really well at Como,
Yeah, he looks a good man. Yes, it'll be a step up, but why not try something different? Because he will have a play good football. Yeah, and even if it's not the top talent who want to come play for him, the young players, the young excited players who want to come play for him. You know what I mean?
And he'll have connections in Europe and Spain. We'll start to get some really technical players coming through.
Listen, he's got a lot of experience under the tutors of big boy managers, Pep Guardiola, Wenger, I think Mourinho as well.
Mourinho too,
You know what I mean? He's like, come on, man. You've got to try something.
Because Chelsea did it with Maresca, and that paid dividends. Like, they managed to win the Club World Cup and the Conference League.
King Cam says, we are in crisis, slow but serious one. We could not beat Everton last year to get to the Champions League. Yeah. And the way they're playing, especially because we're going to be away, boy, I wouldn't want to go face them in the run of form that we're in.
Yeah, and especially in that new stadium and the way they play now.
Anthony, let's be real. I've seen a very good Leeds side back in the day get relegated, and we're going in that direction. Like I said, it's not impossible.
That could happen, yeah.
We're not too big to go down. And we need to recognize that. Ashley said, you can't criticize online or people start harassing you and talk to you like you're an idiot.
They're a cult, Ashington.
Don't worry about that. The speak of truth, man. Speak of truth. Just always come here, innit? It's a safe place here. Safe space. Mackenzie said, Sunderland get Champions League and we get relegated. Imagine the scenes. Boy.
Oh my
Let's
God!
not put that into the
I want to
ether.
know.
Let's not put it into ether. Scat said in the summer about how messing up your biggest summer. You did, Scant. You've been back and forth with Specs about that one. And Mikey said, if I don't hear breaking news on Sky that Eddie is gone by morning, then I know PIF are not serious. Listen.
Wishful thinking.
I don't think it'll happen this week.
It won't. It won't happen. It won't happen. And I think, do you guys think that PAF are also looking at the fact that there's injuries to the squad and, you know, Eddie can get time and see if he can turn things around when the squad is fully fit? Do you think that's their
We
approach?
only got 2 players injured, D-man.
No, we have, but they're 2 key players, Tino and Vissa. Do you think, especially the Vissa thing, do you think they look at that and think, right, we've backed you in the Champions League. Let's give you a chance to in the transfer market. Let's give you a chance to play with your full squad, and if it don't work, then, or do you think they're thinking you're on the clock? Which one do you think it is? I know which one I would prefer, what you prefer, and what Ray prefer, but what do you think their state of thinking is?
I think Ruben is very much backing Eddie. I think His Excellency would like to back Eddie. Oh, big up, Wayne. He's one of my managers at work. He's a proper Villa fan. We need to get you on, mate. We need to get you on. Big up. I think the Rubens, obviously. His Excellency clearly has a good relationship with Eddie. But I think the CEO is an interesting one because he'll probably want to have his own stamp on things. But then you've just got Ross Wilson in, who Eddie was part of that selection process, and the head coach is meant to report to him. So it would have to be a real executive board decision for him to go.
What about you, Ray?
Well, I don't know if they're watching the games or not, because if I was Mr. Yasser Ramayan and watching this, I would have called him by now. You definitely would have had the phone call. I would have been. I watched the game last weekend. I was shocked, and I thought you've learned from your mistakes, but it's gone worse. So pack your bags, mate, and we've got 2 weeks to get another manager.
Interesting. Queen, big up Queen in the
Big
building.
up Queenie.
She said, good evening. Are we still going to say Eddie Howe is not to blame for it, as his tactics and strategies are no longer effective? Are fans starting to turn? Listen, I'm in one of the most positive, not even the NFC talk group. I'm in another one where they're very positive about Eddie Howe, and even they're saying, you know what? They're starting to question him now. Like, I think enough's enough. Enough is enough. But listen, we'll see. Listen, we're going to see. Let's read some more of these comments before we go anyway. And he said, Leeds got to the semi-final of a Champions League back in the early 2000s, and the following season they got relegated. No one has the right to stay in the league. If you play poorly, then that's where you go. Interesting.
And a big part of their downfall was having to sell their talent to stay afloat. So imagine that will happen to us. If we don't make Champions League, we sell the likes of Tonali, your Botmans or whatever. Who do we replace them with? The Premier League proven dross?
That's it.
You end up going down, didn't you?
Yeah.
Bruno and Joe Linton have been shit for ages and yet still selected. Yeah, well, Bruno's never going to get dropped because he's the captain and we know what that is. Yeah. Eddie Howe will always select him if he's available. Gaz said, you can see the fear in his eyes. Deep down, he knows he's finished. But does he, though? That's the thing. He knows he should be finished, but is he finished? Yeah?
And he ain't going to resign, is he? He ain't going to resign.
Exactly.
This is the biggest club he's ever going to have in his career. He knows that.
Yeah.
He knows if he goes, he'll get a bottom 6 club or something.
He'd have to wait for the England job. I think.
I don't think he will even get that.
I reckon he would. I reckon. Once Tuchel goes, I think it will be the first one.
It'll pick Dan Burn and Pope for sure.
Yeah, true. Man United have won every game on Boxing Day in the Premier League, and that's interesting because we're the only game that's on Boxing Day.
Didn't we beat them? Wasn't it when we beat them last year at Old Trafford? Was that not
Boxing Day? That weren't Boxing Day.
No,
was that around Christmas though?
Yeah, it was on the run. It was on the run that we had, wasn't it? Yeah. No.
First one. Yeah, we beat them twice last season.
I'm
Yeah,
sure it was
I
around
can't remember the
Christmas.
dates.
yeah, it was around Christmas. Yeah, it was around the run that we had, but it wasn't Boxing Day. It wasn't Boxing Day. Boxing Day. It wasn't Spurs because Spurs was around my birthday. I can't remember who we played. We played Villa Boxing Day, I think. We played Villa on Boxing Day. I might be wrong,
Yeah, I
but
think so.
yeah, I think we played Villa.
Yeah.
Oh, 30th of December it was.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah,
just after Boxing Day.
yeah. Oh, here we go. Foxy.
Manu will beat us, man. Manu
Oh
will
yeah,
beat us,
100%.
no doubt.
Foxy said, "I'm not saying how out yet. The cup form is keeping him in a job. It will come down to 3 key games from end of the month: Everton, Spurs, and Burnley. If we are not getting 7 points minimum, then it changes. Good luck getting 7 points for them, guys. I appreciate your comments, Foxy. I don't see us getting 7 points from the games. I think we lose to Everton.
Yeah,
At best, I think we draw with Spurs and beat Burnley. I think that's 4 points.
yeah.
Foxy, why isn't
Well,
it how out yet? What is making you have
What is it? The cup run. The
one
cup.
leg in?
The cup run. The cup form is keeping him in a job. Yeah.
do you mean the thing is? Do you mean cup by what he's done, or what? Are they worried about what might happen in the next upcoming games? Though,
Yo, that's
because
it.
you're judging him by what he's doing now, or you're judging him for last season.
Interesting.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll get a new manager, and we're still in the cup, still in the Champions League. But how probably back in January as well. We will be in the Champions League in January anyway.
Yeah.
Which probably we need one more win to guarantee qualifying
Playoffs.
Well, you look at
playoffs
we've
at
got
least.
2 away games in the Champions League now. Away to Marseille, which is going to be
We're
very
losing
difficult.
that. That's a
Yeah,
loss.
Yeah.
and
It
away to
might even be a
Leverkusen.
hammering.
Right.
It might even be a hammering.
And away to Leverkusen, which at best I think we get a point. As bad as they are, I don't see us going. We can't win everything home. You know what I mean? So it's gonna get ugly. It's going to get ugly. Just strap in because it's going to be a bumpy ride, isn't it? Queenie, we mentioned this Queenie earlier. It's I remember how many folks sat and said they wanted something back, but can you honestly talk like that now after today?
Yeah,
Really
I
being
mean.
honest, and that's what we said. Yeah, be careful what you wish for because I never want them back in this league. I saw this coming. Not that they turn will be
Me
so
too.
high as they were, but listen, I knew it's going to be. I knew they're going to beat us. They're going to beat us. But yeah,
Yeah, same here.
big up Ricky D in the building. He said, "We deserve to win the cup, and I don't want to take credit away from Howe, but Liverpool were mentally and physically exhausted after PSG beat them at Anfield 3 days before the final." Interesting. Big up Ricky as well. Big up Ricky. As Queenie said, hit up the likes, help the channel grow and that. So get the likes in. But listen, anything you want to say before we go, Roy? Anything else you want to say?
I just hope BAF do the right thing, and it's up to them. If it was me, today was his last match, but unfortunately, I'm not in charge.
Jefferson?
And
Oh God.
one more thing about the happy clappers. They're worried about if we lose them now, who are we gonna get? Well, are you watching the football? Are you watching the football? I don't think it's gonna get worse. It's not gonna get worse. So just have a bit of faith in these players, because some of the players might not be happy with him as well.
Mm.
And if you look at Tonali's body language since last week, and that interview as well confirms it. So you might get another manager, and things might change completely.
We shall see. We shall see. Just quickly on
So
this.
the grass might be green on the other side.
Benel said, "Am I the only one thinking Voltamada was not an Eddie pick? It was
Yeah.
the ownership intervention." Yeah, Jefferson's been
Yeah.
speaking about this for a while. Yeah,
Steve Nixon's.
Jefferson, any final thoughts on the situation?
Firstly, I hope there's not gonna be a he don't want to be saved part 4. Like we don't want to be getting there, and we don't want to no excuses part 3. Like this should be the crescendo. It's time for him to go. I personally don't think it's gonna turn around. And people have to remember it's not personal, especially the Colties. It's not personal. We're thinking about Newcastle United Football Club. We're not thinking about Eddie Howe FC. No one will ever take away the legendary feats that he's achieved with us, and everybody will remember the ride. But at the moment, things are going sour, and he needs to leave before he tarnishes his own legacy. So, I think, listen, we don't want to creep into a relegation battle because that's what's happening. It's time for a change. So he don't want to be saved, but it's time for us to save him. Eddie's got to go.
And I will say, listen, from the interview that I saw, maybe it's reactionary after defeat, but he looks like a defeated man, right? And he's running out of ideas on the pitch. He doesn't look like he can inspire the players anymore. He's done a fantastic job in improving a lot of these players, getting the best out of them. We've had a great few seasons with him, the cup win, the Champions League qualifications, he's turned St. James's back into a fortress, let's be honest, right? But I have to agree with Jefferson. There comes a point in time now where you think, you know what, you've taken us as far as you can. Now, this would, in my opinion, this would be the perfect time to have a managerial change, right? Just before the international break, get settled in, and also before the transfer window opens, so you can assess the squad and give a bit of money, the new manager, a bit of money to make one or two, maybe three players in and start changing and bring a lift to the club. Because right now, the mood around the club is so low. Yeah. And I don't see how that's going to improve. Given the fixtures that we've got coming up, I don't trust this manager to get the points that we need to get out of this relegation dogfight. Yeah, we've won 3 games out of 11 in the league. That's a sackable offence in itself. And like I said, the quality teams that we've beaten, we beat a team, Wolves, 1-0, who had opportunities to score against us, by the way, and they are diabolical. They haven't won a game all season. Yeah, Forest were awful under Ange, right? And the third one, who was the third one against? I forgot who the third one was against.
Forest.
No, Forest, Wolves, and who was the third one? Fulham,
yeah.
a last minute winner.
15th, just below us as well.
Yeah, big up candidate.
So all 3 are below us.
Connor's just sent me the odds, the betting odds. Eddie is now second favourite to be sacked, 5-1. Daniel Farker is first at 4-5.
Right.
Scott Parker third at 6-1. So even the bookies are starting to take a few odds. And then in terms of managers joining us, you got Iraola at 4-1, Glasner at 5-1, Xavi at 11-2, Kieran McKenna at 8-1. That'll be a bad mistake. Brendan Rodgers 10-1, Ten Hag 10-1, and then the list goes down. Mancini, interestingly, at 14-1. So even the bookies are starting to pay attention to our current plight and situation. This stuff is very, very real.
And it's very, very worrying. But we're going to leave it there. Thank you for all those in the chat for your comments. Please, if you haven't liked the stream, hit a like on the way out. If there's stuff you agree with, you don't agree with, put in the comments. They're all appreciated. We'll respond to comments as much as we can as possible. Thank you, Roy, for joining again. As a short notice,
All hail the King of Qatar.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime.
Merci beaucoup.
But man, share with your people. Yeah, spread the word of 90's Mags, especially in these worrying times. You want a safe place where you can express your thoughts without any judgment. Man, we appreciate you all. Thank you for joining, and we'll be back next week. Well, we'll be back. Yeah, next week.
Thank God there's no football.
Well, that's it. Once you're screaming for the international break, innit? But it is what it is.
I'm not going to watch anything.
We're out, people. Peace.
Peace.